Hey guys, good morning. Just at the beginning of my day, just checking out yesterday's prediction, see how things went. So here's GJ on the 5 minute. So yeah, we're basically trying to use this span of red candles from 7 till noon, or sorry, till midnight New York time to predict the next trading day. So there's lots of similarities for sure. Really interesting study. So starting off with this blue bar here, this is just kind of shows my middle points and my ends of different areas. So here's the start of the red. That's what this represents. Here's the middle of the red, and here's the end of the red, and the start of the next session in black candles, so the remaining session. Then here's a quarter way through, halfway through, 3/4 way through, and then the very end. Just to know where we can expect like certain moves, like, here's the middle. Here's the middle with the yellow circle and the big yellow circle here. So I just kind of use those as kind of like a landmark to what I could expect there. So that's what the blue bar is for. So so if you're just gonna look at the red mark here and try and use it as a prediction, you might say that right when the day starts, it's gonna move up and drop down, have a nice pullback up, down, big up, down, up, down. Before lunch, there's going to be a big up and then another big down. And then right at lunchtime, it's going to be a big drop at lunchtime. Move back up, down, and then continue down, pull back up. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of a flow there. Might not jump out initially at you, but if you keep on looking at it, different examples, you'll see some relationships for sure. So can we kind of see that happen here in the next example? So we'll just take these first purple circles here. Yeah, so kind of a move up starting the day, a little bit of a move up, followed by a drop down and a big move up, drop down, big move up. Got some wicks there too. Another drop down, another low point over here on the right side of that drop, then a pull back up. You can kind of see that here too. Pull back up, and then moving into the next white circle, you can kind of see a high move on the right, pull back down, another move up. So a high point on the left. I think I said that backwards. High point on the left, pull back down, move back up, exits the circle with the move down. So we can see some similarities here. And then you've got your low point here with the circle. Then you've got another low point here. So there's definitely some similarities, right? And then you're moving back up here. Got two circles there. Let's take one of them out. So that's where we're ending at, and that's what that's. The only thing I haven't figured out is the time seemed to move around a little bit. Because like right here, that's supposed to be, oh, maybe not, sorry. That's a quarter way through the day. This is halfway through the day. So after the big move up there in the white circle, looks like a big move down. white circle, big move down. So now we're here at this white point here at the big move down. We're at the big move down. And this point here is past lunch. But on this example, it's before lunch. So this could mean that it's this point. It's hard to say. I haven't figured that part out yet. Or maybe it could even mean that it's this point here because this is actually before lunch, right? This is our midday point. Oh shit, actually, you know what? Might be off again. Yeah, this is our midday point here. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, our midday point is over there. This is a quarter point. Yeah, this is our midday point here in yellow. So we'll use the yellow circle as our midday point. Yeah, that'll work out better. Yeah, so from our big move up, big move down, big move up, could be this here, big move down. And then after that, you see a move up, goes sideways just a little bit, and then big move up. So what do we see here? So the sideways movement could be this, and then our move up. So sideways. So getting a little tricky in here. Move up. Well, let's just try and catch the prominent points and then maybe we'll try and move backwards. So before lunchtime, here in yellow, there's an even higher point before. So that could be here. So this could be our higher point right before lunch, before it moves down. So that could be here. And then right at lunchtime, wick with the body, could be a big move down. That could be anywhere in here. Could even be right after lunch. So what do we see just before this move here? What do we see? See the big move up? So this is definitely big move up. For candles, yeah, that could be our landmark candle there. Oh, we got it marked out here. So then we've got another point down there, followed by sideways action or a drop down. Another kind of point like that right there too. So that could be somewhere right in here. Okay, so now we're just going to try and do the last part of the day here. So here's our middle point in yellow. Middle point in yellow. Here, let's zoom in on that, have a better look. So after a middle point in yellow, there's a little bit of movement up, goes down. Even goes up after the close, goes back down, moves around a little, another little move upwards, sideways, down, sideways, big drop down, retracement, sideways. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. So let's just try and pick out the prominent points. So we got our drop there. Drop there in orange. Got a drop there in orange. I mean, like in hindsight, it's a lot easier to see it. This is what is that? Yeah, 3/4 way through the day. Did that work out? This is just after 3/4. So timing's a little bit off there. So it could even be that 3/4 way through the day, it could be this candle here. Even though like the downwards move is different. Like I think the algorithm, I think it just depends on like when you're at this point in time, like how much volume comes in to push down that candle. Whereas this point here, there's more volume at this point in time to push down this area or this area, whichever one is first. But then when you're over at this area, even though the algorithm's the same, it does have to move at that time dependent on how much liquidity is in the market. So I think that has something to do with it. But using this, we're looking for the general shape of the algorithm so that we can kind of expect what to happen during the next part of the day. We should put on the sessions. Well, I'm going to change my background really quick. Yeah, so the box in red, that's the Asian hours. Box in green, that's London hours. This is the overlap, Tokyo, London overlap. And then the purple box, that's New York, and then this is the overlap for New York and London. So just to show when the big volume comes in, start of London, during London, New York, and in New York. So yeah, lots of liquidity when those big time frames. New York and London, lots of liquidity there for sure. So then obviously makes the candles move a lot more. So yeah. In terms of using this red data here, data in orange, the candles in orange to predict the last part of the day. The overall look here is goes up. That's kind of the overall look. All the examples I did before, you can't really be too accurate with them. The thing you can really gain from this kind of analysis is just using the big prominent moves to get an idea of what's going to happen in the next day in terms of time too. Like in this example, probably the first part of the day would have been the easiest things. But I mean, like, oops. Try and find the top here, get a sell, even get a sell here at this point. You try for buy here. Two buy options down here, circles in white. For the sells, could try hold it just before lunch. Try hold it just before lunch or just after lunch. Anywhere before or right at lunchtime. Or even hold it all the way until anywhere down here near the last 3/4 of the day. And then for your buys, if you got in at the early part, try and hold it before lunchtime. Could be expecting to move like that, but after lunch you wouldn't want to hold those buys. So hold the buys just before lunch or right at lunchtime, but not past lunch. So did we see anything like that? So this was saying to buy to drop the first part of the day, so you might have got in there if you were lucky. Buy at the drop, hold until before lunch. I mean, if you see a move like this, you probably would have got out. That's a decent move. So that'd have been one that you might have got, maybe not. You had a second position before lunchtime would have been right here because this is our lunchtime mark. That's our timing mark for lunch or midday. So you might have got out somewhere in here if you were lucky. Our other buy point we were thinking was somewhere around here. This is the first quarter of the day, so it would have been after the first quarter of the day, and that's this mark here. So you might have been expecting some kind of move like this, so that wouldn't have scared you that it was just going to drop off. You might have bought somewhere in there, and then if you were lucky, you would have got a close there. So there's the buys. And then for the sells, would they have worked out? We were hoping for a sell around a quarter way through the day, some kind of big move. So there's a quarter way through the day. And there's a big move. Another big move. So we were kind of expecting that just from our buys. So you might have got in somewhere up there if you were kind of rolling the dice a bit. And then we were saying that to close those, I don't remember what we said for when to close. But I mean, after it starts rolling down, you pretty much choose your area to get out of. I think we said hold it. Oh yeah, here it is. Hold it until the last 3/4 of the day, or else before lunch. So the last 3/4 of the day is over here. That's this mark here. So anywhere over here, you would have closed that sell. And there's your lunchtime. see what happened right after lunchtime. Does that show up here? So here's lunchtime. Could have been this wick here. That could have been just after lunch. It could even have been this. It's not completely accurate using this type of analysis, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff though. Overall, looking at this, kind of just looks like it was just going to go like this. High of the day being before lunch, low of the days being the last 3 quarters, something like that. So let's see if we kind of get that overall look here. See, kind of there. Yeah, so not completely. Like this is saying that it should have been going down here like this, like that. And that's where you really got to look closer at the wicks if you want a better analysis, for sure. This is the 5-minute chart. So right before lunch was our high on the fractal example. So that part worked out, high of the day before lunch. Low of the day before lunch. Yeah, it doesn't show that. So that part's not accurate. And then you definitely want to keep in mind like your busy times a day, because that's gonna definitely push things around for sure. Yeah, so anyhow, cheers boys and gals.